Good morning, greetings, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 32 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, skin health, something we're talking about here today, something you may have read about, heard about, 844-236-6010 is our number, and we love hearing from you. If you have a comment or success story, 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on The Bright Side, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. Or call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470 for more information. Also, don't forget to ask about joining the Bright Side Ben team for a one-time $25 fee. You can be in business for yourself. You can start a home-based business, work out of your home, work as much or as little as you like, and change the world while you're doing it. And I'm not exaggerating when I say change the world. We change the world a person at a time, and we change a person starting with health. Nothing is more important than our physical well-being when it comes to how we operate in the world. If your body, I'm all about being spiritual and being mentally correct and being emotionally correct, but when you're in pain, it's very hard to address the higher aspects of living. When you're in physical pain, it is absolutely awful what happens to us, many of us, as we get older. And I see it hundreds of times a month and read about it hundreds, maybe thousands of times a month. It's terrible. It's heartbreaking. It's tragic, and it is unnecessary. How do you take care of your physical body? Well, lots of ways to do it. Certainly, you got to exercise. You got to move around. You also got to work on the upper levels of health for the physical body. The spiritual and mental and emotional levels all are part of how well we operate physically. But nothing is more important than getting on a good nutritional supplement program, and that's what Longevity is all about. And if you're interested in a home-based business, that's what you'll be about if you join the Longevity team, the Bright Side Ben team. And you can make some money doing it. 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470 is the phone number for the Bright Side Ben team. Or you can sign up by clicking on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. Okay, so we have been talking about detoxification on the Bright Side. Hear that word a lot, but nobody ever tells us what it is, detoxification. That's why we take these detoxification formulas and have no idea what the heck what's in them. Many of them have to be cleared out by the very same detoxification system they're supposed to be helping. So I'm not a big believer in a lot of so-called detox programs and detox products, but there are some ways that you can support detox in a non-toxic way. That sounds kind of funny, but that's really, when you take an herbal formula, you're detoxing in a toxic way. Herbs are toxic. Yes, they're medicinally toxic if you do them correctly, and certainly they're less toxic than drugs, but there's got to be cleared out by the detoxification system of the body. So they're, by definition, toxic. The detoxification system in the body is two steps. They call them phase 1, phase 2. We'll just say 2 steps. You got step 1, step 2. Step 1 is like a prep, and this prep, unfortunately, creates sometimes toxic short-term, supposedly short-term byproducts that are supposed to be cleared out by phase 2, assuming phase 2 is working. Phase 2 is a more specific system. There's different ways you can, there's a couple different ways step 1 takes place, but step 2 has got multiple systems. It's got like 5 or 6 steps, or 5 or 6 pathways, they call them, 5 or 6 ways of operating, we'll say. And phase 2, or step 2, is more nutritionally based. They're all nutritionally based, but the actual elements of step 2 are nutritional elements. For example, we've been talking about glucarate, calcium D-glucarate. That's like a nutritional element. Glycine is involved. Sulfur is involved. Selenium is involved. Nutrition is involved in everything, of course, but the nutrients themselves are used as part of the detox machinery in phase 2, in step 2. And if you don't have the resources, if you don't have the nutritional resources to accomplish this step 2, and you've got these toxic byproducts building up from step 1, you will be in big trouble. This is one of the major causes of cancer, and this is why. There's a lot of things here, actually. Number 1, the system can become overloaded when we have too much step 1 going on. Step 2 can become overloaded and not be able to keep up, and stuff will build up. But number 2, and this is also very important, the system can be maxed out. The system can handle a certain amount of toxicity and then no more. So your body will start to pull in resources. Your body will start to pull in, for example, sulfur and selenium. It will take the selenium from the heart, so you'll be more prone towards heart problems. It will take the copper from your collagen, so you'll be more prone towards connective tissue problems. It will take the glycine from the connective tissue. You'll be more prone towards wrinkles. Glycine is involved in this detoxification process. Copper, magnesium, zinc, vitamin A. All of these will become diverted away from building and from growing and from repairing towards detox. And that is going to show up as heart problems. It's going to show up as wrinkles. It's going to show up as bone problems. It's going to show up as cholesterol, as broken blood vessels or deteriorating arteries and veins and cholesterol deposits. It's going to make you be on a statin drug, and you won't think it's because you're eating a lot of burnt meat or because you're not getting enough glycine, or because you're not getting enough sulfur or selenium. And it'll show up as heart disease, and nobody's going to relate the two. So taking care of the detoxification system is super duper important, not just for toxicity, but for other things, for just general deterioration of the body. Step 2 is like a tinker toy modification. All chemistry is tinker toy modification, but step 2 is like a little piece, one tinker toy getting stuck on a master tinker toy, an extra tinker toy getting stuck on a base tinker toy, and this extra tinker toy just completely changes the chemistry of the molecule. And there's 5 or so or 6 different tinker toy pieces that get attached in step 2. And these tinker toy pieces that get attached can come into the body through food and through supplements. And by getting on food and supplements correctly, you can improve step 2 and allow it to keep up with step 1. Now, step 2 is going to take care of a lot of things. Step 2, as I say, can be overloaded if you're smoking, if you're drinking, if you're on prescription drugs. Remember, prescription, this isn't going to show up on the side effect profile. This is one of the hidden problems associated with prescription drugs that you never hear about. They overload step 2, and for that matter, they speed up step 1. They overload step 2 and they speed up step 1. So you'll take your drug for your heart disease or for your beta blocker or an acne drug even for that matter, and later on down the road you're going to end up with breast cancer or uterine cancer or some kind of reproductive cancer. Nobody's going to associate the two. This is how the whole thing is linked. Because your birth control pill, it overloads phase 2. Now phase 2 starts to build up and you got toxicity and you lose nutritional resources as your body tries to support phase 2 detoxification, and it's a big mess. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back after this. We are back. on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we have an empty board. So now's the time to chime in. 844-236-6010 if you have anything to say about what we're talking about, this whole idea of phase 1 or phase 2 detoxification. If you're dealing with an estrogenic health challenge, and there's many estrogenic health challenges, and in the world of nutrition, estrogen has kind of a bad reputation, which is perhaps deservedly so. Estrogen is a very, very potent substance. When I was working in the pharmacy, I used to hate to have to compound estrogen creams because the window of what they call in the business the therapeutic window, which is the narrow amount that you're supposed to get in your blood before you go into toxicity or side effects, or at the other end of the spectrum, underdosing. It's like a window between underdosing and overdosing. They call it the therapeutic window. Well, the therapeutic window of estrogen is very narrow, really narrow, because just a little bit too much, a microgram too much, can have, which is a millionth of a gram, a microgram, can have a horrible, can have disastrous results. You can end up with horrible toxicities from just small overdoses. Estrogen is dosed in the microgram. 0.125 milligrams, 125 micrograms is a dose of Premarin, for example. Premarin was all the rage when I graduated pharmacy school back in the 1980s. When I had my first retail pharmacy jobs. Estrogen was that was like the number 1 or number 2 best-selling drug. And then all the news came out about estrogen, all the toxicity associated with estrogen. So estrogen pills they still use them, of course, and they're still a best-selling drug for that matter, but not as much as they used to, because now they have these so-called bioidentical creams, which is nonsense. There's no such thing as bioidentical. And I used to have to compound some of these bioidentical creams when I got a prescription, and I would hate it because you have to be really careful with estrogen. But estrogen, the body, being the brilliant system that it is, clears out estrogen very effectively, instantly. The estrogen goes up, it does its work, and it's eliminated out of the body under healthy circumstances, when we're healthy. But when we're not healthy, estrogen does not get cleared out effectively. And as it's being broken down, it can start to, toxic metabolites can start to build up. And that's where we get into problems with estrogen. And that's why estrogens are associated with inflammation and disease. These toxic estrogens, are breakdown products, are very inflammatory, very, with a capital V. And they're super high potent growth stimulators, fibroids and cysts. If you got fibroids and cysts, rest assured you're dealing with these toxic estrogens. If you got PCOS, same deal. So many ways this estrogen toxicity can show up. In fact, a vast majority, a huge majority of our health challenges have this, at least partially, this mechanism is at least partially involved. Which means clearing out estrogen, phase 2, becomes super important. And if you're on the birth control pill, or you're on eating lots of phytoestrogens, soy, for example, or exposing yourself to xenoestrogens, it becomes extra important. Even if you don't have full-blown symptoms, if you're on the birth control pill, that's classic, man. Not only are you getting a mega dose of estrogen on the birth control pill, that's how it works. That's the mechanism. It just floods the body with estrogen, so the body thinks it's pregnant. Estrogen is estrogen, comes from estrus. It's a hormone that's associated with building a baby. When the body's building a baby, that's the best birth control there is, because when you're pregnant, you can't get pregnant again. So what the birth control pill does is it pounds the body with so much estrogen, it thinks it's pregnant. Problem is, it's the wrong estrogen. It's already toxic estrogen. Even hormone replacement therapy estrogen has to get broken down and can form toxic estrogen. But the birth control pill is not just estrogen, it's toxic estrogen. Body has no idea what to do with that. And if you want to overload your phase 2 detox, if you want to come up with a great strategy for overloading your phase 2 detox, it's getting on the birth control pill. And anybody who's on that thing, or really any synthetic, nasty, fake estrogen, but especially the birth control pill, because it's just such a high dose, focus on phase 2 detoxification. And if you're symptomatic, it's not an option. Unless you just don't even care about a horrible disease down the road. If you're symptomatic and you're on the birth control pill, and by symptomatic I mean you have any kind of inflammatory issues, autoimmune issues, mood issues, mood fluctuation issues, weight issues, it's very likely that you're having a problem clearing out your estrogen, especially if it didn't happen before. So phase 1, step 1 is a chemical. It involves CP450. It's a chemical it's a prep to phase 2, to step 2. Step 2 finishes it off. And now, once step 2 finishes it off, there's more things that have to happen. Once step 2 finishes it off, you got to have good bowel movements. You got to have good intestinal health, because once step 2 finishes it off, those things have to get out of the body. Yeah, it's true. Step 2 helps it get out of the body, but it's got to get out of the body. It gets out of the body through the kidneys and the liver, or the urinary tract, and through the bile system and through the liver. And all of this information, by the way, is on the package insert when you buy a drug. How a drug gets cleared. Clearance, they'll say clearance through bile. It's cleared through bile. They'll say clear through the kidney. It'll tell you right on the package insert. Get to read that package. If you're on a prescription drug, get to read that package insert. So, if you're on prescription drugs, it's very likely, and you're not taking care of step 2, it's very likely that you're overloading step 2. And that means a couple things. First off, if you're on prescription drugs, focus on step 2 detoxification. If you want one thing to do, get on vitamin C, high doses, beyond Tangy Tangerine. That's got a high dose of vitamin C in it. That alone, if you want a simple step to detox, we don't even say that, we don't call the Beyond Tangy Tangerine a detox supplement, but it has everything you need for the detoxification systems to work as they should. Get on the BTT. Make sure you're focusing also on the health of the bile system. We don't talk about the ultimate enzymes as being important for detoxification, but they are. That bile, there's bile in the ultimate enzymes. Every time you take a capsule, you're taking a capsule of bile. That's going to support the bile system, and that's going to support detox. Making sure you're having regular bowel movements. If you're constipated, that is a big red flag for toxification, because you can't clear out the toxins. And then the bile system backs up. Then the bile becomes sludgy. And then the bile doesn't do its work. Then toxicity starts to build up, and you're going to step 2 is going to start to get overloaded, and it's going to start sucking out resources, and you're going to lose nutritional resources that are supposed to be help you protect your circulatory system and your heart, for example, and you're going to end up with heart disease, and nobody's ever going to link it to this overloaded step 2. Or you may end up with dementia, and nobody's going to link it to overloaded step 2. Which is itself following constipation, long-term constipation. Yes, our butt is connected to our head via this mechanism. If you're having constipation and then later on chronic constipation, and later on down the road you have dementia, nobody's going to think the two are related. But via this mechanism, it's all one big thing. This is why the pharmacomedical model doesn't work. It's because it'll try to treat the brain when the problem is in your butt. Classic example. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. We are back on The Bright Side. Pharmacist Ben here. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got a few lines open for you. 844-236-6010. And if you are on hold, we'll get to you momentarily. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And if you want to purchase our Truth Skin Health products, our Truth Biomimetic Mineral Mist made with plant-derived fulvic minerals, as well as high hyaluronic acid, amino acids, and lactate, super skin firming and moisturizing. $39 for a 1-ounce supply, lasts you about a month or so. Our Truth Omega-6 Healing Cream, Truth Transdermal C Serum, Truth Transdermal C Balm, and our Truth Retinol 5% Gel, and now our new Truth Retinol 1% Gel are all up at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, emulsifiers, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Skin Health products, and you will get results right away. Instant results. Nutritional results. One of the neatest things about nutritional supplementation is the more deficient we are, the faster our body absorbs the nutrients. The more deficient we are, like a dry sponge sucks up more water than a wet sponge. When the body is deficient in minerals and vitamins and amino acids, etc., it will suck those up like a dry sponge sucks up water, and the same thing happens with your skin. When your skin is deficient in vitamin C, it will suck it up like a dry sponge sucks up water. And you put our Truth Transdermal C Serum, for example, on your skin, and almost right away you can see a difference for most people who haven't dosed their skin with high concentrations of vitamin C, which is most people. And remember, vitamin C is being shunted away into the liver to detox away from your skin. So by addressing your skin topically with vitamin C, you can replace the vitamin C that's being redirected to your liver. Oh yeah, if your body, if phase 2 detoxification is stealing nutrients, you're going to be more prone towards wrinkles and accelerated aging of the skin. By using vitamin C topically on the skin, you can mitigate some of those rerouting effects. All right, that's truthtreatments.com, by the way, truthtreatments.com. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls here in just a moment. This is from the Journal of Pediatrics. The gluten-free diet in children, do the risks outweigh the benefits? The prevalence of celiac disease, an autoimmune disease, is increasing. The only treatment for CD is a gluten-free diet. I wonder why that would be. I love that. The only treatment there is for celiac disease is a gluten-free diet. That's because it's gluten that's causing the problem. By the way, it's not just gluten. There's other elements in grains that can be problematic for folks, especially sugars. Sugars, whether they're in grains or in fruits, are disastrous for folks who have celiac disease. Those sugars are a recipe for something called small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, SIBO. And if you have celiac disease, you're way more prone towards SIBO. But you know what? Lots of us have SIBO and don't have celiac disease. So it's not just gluten that's the bad guy. In going gluten-free, and I hear this, I can't even tell you how many times I hear this every day. Literally, every day I hear somebody tell me, oh, but I'm on a gluten-free diet. That's great. But there's lots of other things that you could be that are problematic in grains, and for that matter, in all botanicals, all plants, all veggies. Continuing here, a commentary schedule for the publication in the Journal of Pediatrics discovers several of the most common inaccuracies regarding the gluten-free diet. One misconception is the gluten-free diet is a healthy lifestyle for a healthy lifestyle choice with no disadvantages. Really. In fact, in individuals without celiac disease, there are no proven health benefits, assuming they mean going gluten-free. Baloney. Everybody benefits from a gluten-free diet. Almost everybody. Because even if you don't have full-blown celiac autoimmune disease, gluten is glue. That's where the word glue comes from. So I was talking to somebody yesterday about oatmeal. Now, oatmeal doesn't really have gluten in it, but it's got its own problems. If you look, and you can tell this by looking at your oatmeal in the saucepan or whatever oatmeal pan you're making. Let it sit there for a day, or let it sit there for a couple hours. Just make your oatmeal, let it sit there for a couple hours, and see what happens when you come back. It's going to be a big, gluey lump of sticky yuck. And that big, gluey, lumpy stick of yuck is what can happen inside your intestines when you eat oatmeal. Are there good things in oatmeal? Yes, there's wonderful things in oatmeal. There's amazing things in oatmeal. Oatmeal is one of nature's most powerful nutritional substances. But you're going to be dealing with a lot of plant chemical warfare. That's what that sticky stuff is. It's plant chemical warfare. It provides, it's a mechanism for the oat plant to survive, because that lump that's sitting in your saucepan and sitting in your intestines sits in your intestines as a way to remind you that you're going to have a problem if you eat it again, and that's how the plant survives. You're going to be like, I don't think I want to eat that stuff again. Celiac disease is a whole other element. Celiac disease is when you have an immune reaction to that lump. That's a whole other thing. But the lump itself is a problem whether or not you have celiac disease. That lump, that stickiness, that heaviness It disrupts the chemistry of the intestine, and it does it because it's supposed to. That's why nature put it in the oat plant. That's why the oat plant came up with it. All right. And by the way, the headline here, do the gluten-free diet for children, do the risks outweigh the benefits? It depends on your child. I will say there are wonderful nutrients for growth, healthy nutrients that are important for kids, that can be important for kids in grains. But personally, I don't think it's worth it. Just see how your kid does. This seems to be okay. And you don't need a test. If he seems to be okay, you're probably okay. But more than likely, he's not going to be okay. He's not going to seem to be okay. All right, let me do one more here, and then we'll get your calls. 844-236-6010 is our number on the bright side. Let's see what I want to read here. Oh, here's a good one. New discovery at the heart of healthy cereals. New discovery at the University of Queensland could help reduce heart disease and boost nutrition security. Not sure what that means. The access to balanced nourishment, that's what that means, globally. Researchers at UQ's Center for Nutrition and Food Sciences have identified a new mechanism for how healthy cereals such as oats reduce the amount of cholesterol in the bloodstream, lowering the risk of heart disease. This is one of the good things about oats. Oats have something in them called beta-glucan, which is one of the all-time great health nutrients, supplements. It's unbelievable for skincare. I use it in lots of my skincare formulations, and I have for years. Beta-glucan is amazing stuff, and to its wonderful list of benefits, which include accelerated healing, anti-cancer, immune stimulation, it also helps lower cholesterol. It has an anti-cholesterol effect. And so doctors think that eating oats can be healthy for your heart. That's why Cheerios advertises itself as being heart healthy, because of the beta-glucan content. I say just get straight beta-glucan, use it as a supplement so you don't have to deal with the stickiness in the oats. That being said, fair is fair, got to be honest here. Oat beta-glucan is amazing, amazing stuff. Oats, by the way, are also a great source of vitamin E. Oats have something in them called avenanthramides, and these avenanthramides are very anti-inflammatory. I use them for skin inflammation, to reduce skin inflammation and skin discomfort. But that doesn't make oats themselves necessarily a great food. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back on the bright side right after this. We are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Time to go to the phones. Good morning, Christy in California. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Ben.
Good morning.
I'm calling because my fiance had several heart attacks since his 55th birthday, ironically, on his 55th birthday.
Oh, no.
Which was April the 25th.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
He's been in and out of the hospital 4 or 5 times.
Oh, my gosh.
He brought this on himself, although it's very sad the way that had happened. He did drugs after the suicide of his father 3 years ago.
Oh, like so what? Opiates? Antidepressants, opiates? What would he get?
I believe it's opiates for his real back pain. It's truly a bad back pain. But I also believe it was also, he called them cross tops, but I believe that they are, that they're methamphetamine. In other words, amphetamines. He's not using meth like regular meth.
Okay, no, I understand. Speed, uppers. Yeah, so he was doing opiates and the uppers? Mm-hmm. Both?
That's what I suspect.
Well, okay. We don't need to go there. That's not, let's help him out, okay? So here's the deal. Here's the good news.
If anybody else can get help by this, just by me telling people, don't do this.
Right. That's a good point.
He has
terrible.
4 to 5% ejection fraction. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. So here's the deal. Okay, go ahead. Well, here's the deal. The good news, bad news. First of all, bad news is he is in deep trouble. At the age of 55 is when it starts to happen, but he's already, for most people, but it shouldn't happen that dramatically. So that's that's a major red flag. And if he doesn't take care of himself right away, the road up ahead is not pretty. The good news is, let's focus on the good news here, is anything he does, he's going to notice a significant difference. Anything. Okay. I'd get him on right away on magnesium. Get him on the osteo. If you do use longevity, get him on the OsteoMag right away. Whatever magnesium you get him right away. Get him.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Get him on OsteoMag. Do the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack right away. Have him take some extra zinc, 50 milligrams a day. You have to go to the health food store and get that. Zinc picolinate. Have him get vitamin E, mixed tocopherols. Do 400 international units a day of that. Bentonite clay. Probably is important to help him detox a little bit, clear out some of that toxin that's probably in the system. I would take extra vitamin C. There's so many things here. But if you want to do a quick down, there's really tons of things he could do. But the good news is that he's going to notice significant differences right away. Have him doing some exercises right away. And you know what? It's funny. It's not funny. It's ironic or interesting, I should say, that he has this heart problem because he has a broken heart. You follow me?
I totally agree with you.
Okay.
His heart is so broken.
His heart's broken. So,
right. He had just reconnected with his father after years.
So sad.
I found his father for him.
So sad. So sad.
And he also has congestive heart failure. They basically told me to put him in hospice.
Who's this? Your boyfriend? Your fiance?
I'm sorry?
Who did they say to put in hospice? Your fiance?
Mm-hmm. The doctor at the hospital in
said to put him in hospice?
Uh-huh.
Are you serious? Oh my God, that's terrible.
I'm not kidding. I mean, I was mortified because I just had no idea. I was not prepared for this when I got to the hospital because they wouldn't tell me what was wrong with him, even though he authorized that I could talk to him.
He doesn't have cancer.
I'm sorry?
It's just his heart. It's just his heart's not working. Is that the idea?
Yes, and congestive heart failure.
No, don't.
Right now.
There's tons you can do.
Okay.
Tons. I only scratched the surface. There's so much more. Glucosamine and gelatin and protein supplements and the B complex and I mean it's endless. Selenium. It's almost endless what he can do. A little exercise, slow deep breathing, SDR breathing. Okay. I mean, I'm scratching the surface because it's just a radio program, but I'm pointing in the right direction and giving you some ideas. But I forgot essential fatty acids. Those are also important. EFAs.
Okay.
So, there's tons you can do, and the good news is he's going to notice it right away. The doctors, to give up on him, I wouldn't be giving up on him.
No, I'm not going to either. I'm not that way.
Sorry.
They said it's non-STEMI heart attack. Do you know? I don't even know what that means.
Non-STEMI? I don't know what non-STEMI. I hadn't heard that term.
And then what about stem cells?
They might help. At this point, they might help. Do you have a way of doing stem cell therapy?
Well, yeah, I know of a clinic that a neighbor has had multiple relatives have
I would look
miraculous.
Into it. I don't know enough about it. By the way, a non-STEMI has to do with the conductivity of the heart. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Okay. It just has to do with conductivity and blockages.
I think it scared him enough. That hopefully he won't do it. Yeah.
Good. Good. And I'm glad he has you. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate what you're doing, and I hope we helped him out as well. All right. Take care.
Oh, you did. Thank you.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye now. Okay, let's go to Michael in California. Good morning, Michael. Welcome to the bright side.
Good morning, Ben. Can you settle a dispute between my wife and myself?
I don't know if I want to get involved. I don't know about that, but okay, that sounds like a personal thing. But go ahead. I'll see what I can do.
No, it's just vitamin D. The best application out in the sun before you bathe, after you bathe.
Say that one more time. After you take a shower, you mean, or take a bath?
Is it better to
after
get your
after.
Okay.
After first of all, when you take a shower, you'll wash off some of the vitamin D that's being made.
Yes.
So you want to let that sweat and those secretions sit on your skin for a while. So you don't want to take a shower right away. And secondly, if you take a shower before, you're going to stimulate blood flow and metabolism. So I would definitely take a shower before and do something where you get the blood kind of work like a cold shower where you get the blood moving, or maybe even hot and cold where you get the blood moving. So I would do the shower definitely before. That's really the argument?
Whose
side am I on? Who did I support on that?
Well, I prefer to get as much. I've heard you say that it's the best application of vitamin D is to get it from the sun.
By far and away, it's the best way to get your vitamin D. Or a sun lamp if you can't get out in the sun.
Right.
Get yourself a sun lamp. So what did you say before or after?
Yes, sir. No, my view was to get as much sun as you could and then bathe afterward. And
why did you? Yeah, I'm saying before. What were you thinking?
No, in other words, shower. You say shower before and then get the exposure.
Yeah, because you'll wash off some of the stuff. You'll wash off some of the stuff that's being made. So you want to keep those secretions on your skin as much as possible.
Copy. Got it.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what else? Anything else I could do?
No, nothing else. And keep up the good work. We love your show. I wish.
Where are you in California?
Oh, Santa Cruz. Come on out again.
Oh, you're in Santa Cruz, my home away from home. I love Santa Cruz, except I don't like the weather in Santa Cruz.
No, I know.
That's the one thing.
Today.
It's cold. It's cold even when it's 80 degrees. It's cold in Santa Cruz. Not quite that bad, but
remember what Mark Twain said: the coldest.
Yeah, the coldest. Right. In San Francisco.
In San Francisco.
Isn't that funny? The coldest summer I ever spent was the coldest winter I ever spent was summer in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great quote. All right, good. Thank you so much for your call. I appreciate it, and I hope I saved your marriage or at least made it better.
We're just kidding.
All right. Take care. Okay,
Bye.
good. Yeah, I'm not sure. I got to think about that with vitamin D. Vitamin D is a super, super fascinating substance. Unbelievable. But it has a downside. Do you know vitamin D is actually used as a rodenticide, as a rat killer. It's rat poison in a way. I got an email from a guy who said he wanted to know if he should throw out all his vitamin D because it's rat poison. Well, no, you have to take a super ridiculously high dose of vitamin D for it to function that way. But because it's involved in calcium metabolism, and it's involved in calcium metabolism not like a vitamin, but like a hormone. Vitamin A and D are the two vitamins that are hormones. There's a big distinction between vitamins and hormones. Hormones are they're like drugs in a way. Hormones in fact, many drugs work via the hormone system. Hormones turn cells on, just boom, turn them on. Vitamins and nutrients don't work that way. Nutrients support that chemistry. Hormones turn it on. That's a completely different mechanism, and hormones indeed can be problematic, and that's why vitamin A, that's why they'll tell you not to take too much vitamin A also. Vitamin A and vitamin D function as hormones. Now, they're not going to be deadly unless you take ridiculously high amounts, and so that doesn't mean you want to throw out your vitamin D, but it means you want to respect your vitamin D. It means and the best way to respect your vitamin D is to use vitamin D in its most natural form, which is not supplements. I'm not a big believer in vitamin D supplements, by the way, as you can probably tell. But vitamin D from fish oil, vitamin D from fish, vitamin D from the sun is the absolute best way to get your vitamin D. Vitamin D from the sun, the absolute best way to get your vitamin D. It's a superior form of vitamin D to supplemental vitamin D. And also, there's a control mechanism. Body won't make too much. Once it reaches its load, or it's a critical threshold, vitamin D production stops. So the sun is by far and away the best way to get your vitamin D. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We will talk to you all later. Bye for now.